old Eddie Hearn at it again, just like I fucking knew it. A lot of people said that I'm biased against Eddie Hearn, but I've always thought he was a bit of a prick, really. He's been good for boxing a lot of the time, but there shouldn't really be any coming back from this one, should there? I mean, this is fucking low even for him, with all this with the Conor Benn stuff, Crispy Eubank Jr. I was looking forward to the fight anyway, to be honest. I hadn't made a video predicting the fight. My prediction was a difficult one to predict, really, because, well, who knows, you seem to be allowed to take whatever the fuck you want. I'm still going to try and the best to let you fight, but or, you know, go up to whatever weight you want and drag the other person down or whatever, with a rehydration clause as well. And it was like, yeah, the whole thing just stank, really. Drag Eubank down to a weight that he's never fought professionally at before, even though he's in his mid-30s. Yeah, and then also put, like I said, the rehydration clause in to just fuck him over even more. He didn't look healthy at all at the weight, hence why he's never fought at that weight before. He was a world IBO champion at super middleweight, which was years ago. And as everybody knows, the older you get, within reason, you know, the more difficult it is to drop down through weight classes. So yeah, it was always a bit of a dodgy one. And then you throw all this crap with the missed testing to the mix. Well, not the missed test, the failed drugs test into the mix. That they knew what happened, but would like to try and didn't tell anybody it had happened, and were trying to pretend that it hadn't happened. And we're not just talking about a little bit of some that's technically on the ban list that doesn't really, you know, do much, but you could have made a mistake by having it in some cough medicine or something. This is a fucking hardcore fucking doping drug, this thing. It's apparently what weightlifters use or bodybuilders use after a course of heavy steroids to put weight on, put muscle on, which affects their natural production, apparently, of testosterone, and this counteracts that. This produces testosterone, which is obviously a good thing when you're in training, but yeah, it's banned. But the point is, this is used after something else, and apparently it masks other stuff, so what the fuck has he been taking? It's not the sort of thing that's in anything that a man could get prescribed, let alone go and buy over the counter. It's a woman's drug. It's primarily a fertility drug for women. But yeah, he's got it in his fucking system. But yeah, we'll still try and let the fight go on, even though we've dragged this fucker down. It was just a fucking car crash from start to finish. At the time, I was thinking, yeah, well, I hope the fight's still going on, because I was looking forward to watching it. But the longer that passes, you know, it wasn't right. If something would have happened, then where would that have left anybody? You know what I mean? If Eubank and trouble surrounds these two names, Benn and Eubank, Nick Blackwell, Gerald McClellan, Michael Watson fucks off to Australia, you know, straight away. Has the press conference to announce that it's been called off. Refuses to take any questions at the press conference. Granted, he's had this Australia thing planned for a while, but would he have been out there for the full week without this? I doubt it. And then apparently he's going to Mexico, and no doubt he'll be there for longer than he would have been previously. So he's just going to try and let this one die down a little bit, and it probably will die down to a certain extent, because everything does over time, and as new, you know, things get slightly forgotten about or not at the forefront of people's minds, and people get used to it and other stories come in and stuff. But this one isn't entirely going to go away. It might get watered down, but it's not going to go away. He's going to have to face the music at some point. I know he's done a couple of little interviews with his mates, and they haven't really asked him any questions or whatever. Like, these people are naive to what can go wrong in a boxing ring, and that's without draining anybody down and without anybody else apparently taking any drugs. So, and they're not from what I've seen, they're both the fighters, Chris Eubank in particular, they're not the type to sort of look after their own sort of welfare in the ring, you know what I mean? They're never going to quit. So yeah, and throw that in as well, you know, they're even more likely to get damage, along with the history and along with the drugs and along with the weight loss. It was just a bad idea from start to finish. But Hearn's shown his fucking colours again. But at the end of the day, they were trying. And there's clips all over the YouTube. You don't need me to put them up. There's clips all over YouTube of him slagging off people like Gerald Miller, you know, and rightly so, because he's a cheat. But you can't slag him off and want him removed from the sport or whatever, and call him from a pig to a dog. But yet, when your mate does it, when your mate does it, who you've got a lot of cash involved with, invested in, does it, then all of a sudden we believe in him, and we're still going to let the fight go ahead and all this sort of stuff. Jarrell Miller wasn't boiling anybody down, you know what I mean? Jarrell Miller hasn't got a family history of brain injuries from their opponents. Yeah, okay. Just again, one rule for one, and one another set for Eddie Hearn and his own. But he is quite articulate with how he answers his questions, soft questions, like we were saying, from his mates. Not very articulate, but usually quite articulate. Didn't do a particularly good job of his interview with Kugan Cassius. I mean, he was rambling on. Kugan had asked him a crap question, and Hearn would be effectively answering a different question. A question that he, had already sort of prepared in his head, with what he deems to be a suitable answer or the best answer he could probably get away with giving. But he wasn't even answering these pretend questions very well. So yeah, I don't know.